Welcome to this tutorial video. The goal of this video is to show you how to add new dependents. All patients will need to be added as dependents on a debtor's file. The debtor who is responsible for the payment of the account can add as many dependents as necessary, for example, their wife or husband, child or grandparent. If the debtor is a member of a medical aid, all added dependents are automatically listed as medical aid patients if the debtor is imported. If one or more dependents are not listed on the medical aid card, they must be marked as a private dependent. To add a new dependent, a debtor will need to exist or a new debtor will need to be created. For more information on how to create a new debtor, please refer to the Create New Debtor user manual linked in this video's description. In this video, we will start on the diary screen. The function to add new dependents are accessible from a diary booking as well as the Debtors tab. We will go over the first method, adding a new dependent from the diary booking. From the diary screen, click on a desired booking from whom the user would like to add a new dependent. The diary sidebar will open. Click on a Debtor Edit button. The Debtor Details screen will open. We will now go over the second method. From the diary screen, click on a navigation wheel in the navigation bar. The navigation wheel will open. Click on a Debtor segment. The Debtor List screen will open. For more information on how the Debtor List screen works, please refer to the Debtor List user manual linked in this video's description. Click on a Search for a debtor by ID, name, medical aid number field to enter the information of the debtor that the user would like to add dependents for. The user will only need to type one character in order for the list to start shortening to the desired results. Please note that for more information on how to search on the Debtor screen, please refer to the Debtor Search user manual linked in this video's description. Click on a desired debtor. The Debtor sidebar will open. Click on a Debtor Edit button. The Debtor Details screen will open. Add New Patients allows the user to link a patient to a debtor file that has already been created or in the process of being created. Click on the Add New Patient button to add a patient to the debtor's electronic file as a dependent. A new patient line will be added under the patient section. The patient details section will be empty. Please note that the patient's information can be imported from the medical aid if they are a member. Patient details will contain all the personal details of the person who will be consulted by the practitioner. Please complete the following information fields. Click on a Duplicate Debtor button to copy the details of the debtor to the patient fields if the patient is also the main member. Click on a person icon to upload an image or take a picture of the patient as their profile picture. For an extensive explanation on how to upload an image, please refer to the How to Upload an Image Photo user manual linked in this video's description. The Delete Face Hash button feature will be unavailable and will only become available once an image has been uploaded to the file and then removed in order to permanently delete the image from the database. Once the photo is deleted, the debtor can't be identified in the Patient Identifier tab. For more information on how to remove the profile picture and the Delete Face Hash button, please refer to the Patient Identifier Face Hash button user manual linked in this video's description. Please note that fields marked with an asterisk symbol are compulsory fields. For more information on how to make a field compulsory, please refer to the Model Validation user manual linked in this video's description. Names is the full names of the patient as stated on their official identification documents. Nickname is the name that the patient prefers to be called. ID type is the official document of identification that the patient uses as identification. Click on the ID type drop-down menu for options to become available to select the type of identification that the patient is using. RSA ID is the official identification book or card issued in South Africa by the Department of Home Affairs. Passport is an international document that certifies the identity and nationality of a person. Other is any alternative form of identification. Gender is the medical related gender of the patient. Click on a gender drop-down menu to select an appropriate option from the list that has become available. Unknown is when the patient's medical related gender is not known. Male means the person has a male reproductive system. Female means the person has a female reproductive system. Initials is the first letter of each name of the patient. This field will be completed automatically once the first names are entered. Hometel is a landline number where the patient can be reached telephonically. Type is the relation that the patient has to the main member or debtor. Click on a drop-down menu to select an appropriate option. None means there is no relation between the member and the patient, but the main member is financially responsible for the patient, for example, an employee. Main member is the person who is responsible for the account. Spouse means the husband or wife of the main member. Child is the biological child of the main member. Stepchild means a child that is related to the husband or wife from the previous marriage. Adopted child is a child that has been legally adopted by the main member. Foster child means a child that the main member has temporary custody of. Newborn is a child that has recently been born. Parent is the mother or father of the main member. Adult dependent is an adult family member for whom the main member is responsible as they are not able to take responsibility for themselves, usually somebody who is mentally or physically challenged. Email is an electronic mailing address where communication can be sent to the patient. An email address will be validated using specific criteria like an @sign. The email field will be highlighted red if the email is invalid. Address is the permanent physical address where the patient can be found or resides. Line 1 is the house number and the street name associated with the address, for example 46 Tambuti Street. Line 2 is the name of the suburb associated with the address, for example Waldegraaw. Line 3 is the city or province that is associated with the address, for example Pretoria, Gauteng. Line 4 is the postal code that is associated with the address, for example 0184. Click on a duplicate address from debtor button to copy the information over from the debtor's physical address. Employer is the name of the person or company where the dependent is employed. Click on a plus button to add a new employer's information to the system that has not been added yet. Click on the employer field and start typing the name of the desired employer. 3 characters are required before the list becomes available. Select the desired employer on the drop-down menu that will become available whilst typing to link the option to the new patient. If the employer is not found, a new one will need to be created. For more information on how to add a new employer, please refer to the Create New Employer user manual linked in this video's description. Patient file number is the number that is associated with the patient's hard copy file. Dependent number is a number allocated to the patient. For patients that have medical aid, this will correspond to the dependent number on the medical aid policy. Surname is the last name of the patient as stated on the official identification documents. ID number is the official identification number of the patient. The ID number should be between 6 and 13 digits. For an explanation on how an RSA ID validates, please refer to the ID number RSA glossary entry linked in this video's description. Title is to show the status or profession of the patient. Click on a title drop-down menu to select an appropriate option. Mr. is men who do not have another professional or academic title regardless of marital status. Master is an unmarried man under the age of 18 who does not have another professional or academic title. Doctor is a medical or academic doctor with a PhD degree. Professor is a university academic with the highest degree. Reverend is an officially appointed religious leader. Germany is a religious leader of the Nederduitse Hervormde Kerk, Dutch Reformed Church. Mrs. is a married woman who does not have another professional or academic title. Ms. is a woman whose marital status is not known, who does not have another professional or academic title. Miss is an unmarried woman who does not have another professional or academic title. Cell phone is the cellular or mobile number where the patient can be reached. Worktel is a telephone number where the patient can be reached at their place of work. Date of birth is the year, month and day when the patient was born. Default diary to link to is the default diary that will be used when a booking is made for a patient. Click on a default diary to link drop-down menu to select an appropriate option. Mark patient as private means the patient is not part of the main member's medical aid and will be billed privately. Tick on a checkbox to mark the patient as private patient if applicable. Gap cover is a short-term insurance policy which usually covers the difference when practitioners charge more than what a patient is covered for by the medical aid. For an extensive explanation of what gap cover is and each field, please refer to the gap cover user manual linked in this video's description. Occupation is the job or profession of the patient that they do to earn an income. For example, technician, lawyer, plumber, teacher, etc. Patient validation and benefit check is used to see if the patient is a valid and active member of the medical aid and what benefits they have available. Click on the Validate Benefit Check button to validate the patient's information with the medical aid. For more information regarding the validation of a patient, please refer to the Patient Validation, Dependent Data, New Data Import and Benefit Check user manual linked in this video's description. Authorization is a process that should be done to give permission from the medical aid for certain treatments or procedures to be done on the patient. Click on the blue heart button. For an extensive explanation of how to set up authorization for the patient, please refer to the Authorisation Setup user manual linked in this video's description. Print patient label allows the user to print a label with all the patient's demographic details that can be used to identify documents, medications, and wherever the practice would like to use the label. Click on the Print Label button to print the label for the patient. For an extensive explanation on how to print a patient label, please refer to the Print Patient Label user manual linked in this video's description. Click on the Close button to exit the debtor detail screen without saving. Click on the Save button to save all the details that have been entered and return to the Debtors List screen.